Well, supposedly we're there. We are live, and we were just
Awesome.
talking about the Warriors. You have the Walter Hill
Yes.
story.
It's Saul Urich wrote the novel.
Saul Hurrick. I remember that
Urich.
name from.
Urich with a Y.
Oh, Urich. Okay,
Yeah. He wrote The Warriors.
Hurok, I guess is how you pronounce the guy I'm thinking of. Go ahead.
Oh, anyway, he wrote The Warriors, and there's an audiobook, and the library, our local library has the audiobook. And so I was telling Ellis that it's available because The Warriors is one of my favorite movies. It's not it's not my favorite movie, but it's a good. I think of it as a comfort movie. You know,
It's
people
a
talk about
it's a good Walter Hill storytelling. Yeah.
yes, and it's fun, and it takes place in New York, and it it's one I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Escape from New York is another one that I like. It takes place in
Yeah.
New York,
Yeah.
and but it's not real New York. Well, real New York may be worse now, but
Right.
but anyway, yeah, it's moving New York. But I love New York, or I did love New York before it died, and now I'll watch those instead of going to New York. I'll watch those movies and cry
Yeah. Yeah.
for
Exactly.
the death of New York. No, it's funny that I say that because I went to the office today. I told Ellis this. I went to the office today. One of my employees has worked in my office for 20 years. So it's a 20-year employee. So I had a presentation. I had to get up and speak before a group of probably about between 50 and 75 people. And she's an older lady. She's a little bit older than me. And and she doesn't like any kind of thing, but she was told you really need to do this because it's 20 years. It's important.
She didn't want a fuss made over her,
She
even,
didn't want to fuss it over.
but
She
she
didn't want
did.
any recognition. Did not. Did
Did
not.
not. Okay.
And so I told her, I said, Mary, I'll do this. And she goes, well, and I said, I'll tell you what, I'll keep it short. And my concession to keeping it short was I said, I won't make any notes. I'll speak completely from the cuff. And
Mm-hmm.
so then I started off and I said, I promised Mary that I would keep this short. And so I told her I wouldn't use notes. I said, but the joke's on Mary. I can talk just as long without notes.
Uh,
I wanted to tell him the joke, but Michelle said this wouldn't fly. But I'll tell you.
okay.
Uh,
Yeah,
the
jokes. You gotta watch it.
Yeah, well, no. This is so yeah. You do have to be careful, especially if you're in management, dude.
Yeah. Oh,
The
yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Before you send those emails, man.
oh geez,
Those
I've been
obviously humorous emails. Yeah.
I have been to training seminars and where they talk about and it's sexual harassment training, and the one guy told us, the lawyer, and he said all sexual harassment, well, and all is even subjective, but he said, I think he said most sexual harassment starts off as a joke that somebody didn't think was funny,
Yep.
and it just went awry. But anyway, so I don't joke about anything, but I was going to tell him because I'm working from home typically, and so Michelle, my wife, has been hearing me talk to people on the phone, my employees and other coworkers mostly, and she told me, she goes, you talk different to Mary. Now Mary is my only female employee, and she's also, like I said, she's a couple of years older than me, so she's older than me. She's one of the few of my employees that's older than me. And so the joke I was going to tell him is, I was going to tell him, yeah, my wife is, since we've been working from home, my wife and I share an office, and so she hears me talk to everybody on the phone from up here, and she told me, that when you talk to Mary, you have a different tone of voice, and you speak differently. And I told my wife, yeah, that's because she's the only one up there I like. but Michelle said that wouldn't be appropriate.
Yeah.
But I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah. No, I could see. You have to be in tune with just with somebody's humor before you laugh at them.
Yeah.
There's a comedian that told a joke about bombing for about 10 minutes solid. Got so mad at everybody and told them, "Hey, hey, these are jokes. That's what I'm here for, or something like that. And somebody in the crowd just yelled at him, "No one told us you were funny." They have to be. They have to be
Golly.
kind of. They have to be kind of primed.
It is
That their ticket has to say on it, "A night of laughs."
exactly. This is funny stuff,
Hmm.
guys. Oh yeah, I mean, and the thing is like, how it could go wrong on you so
Oh
bad,
yeah. Oh yeah.
so
Oh, there's
easily.
nothing
You got
worse than trying to tell a joke and getting crickets. Anyway, I mean, whew, man, I can't imagine.
yeah.
I can't imagine anything worse than if you loved that though. If there was some part of you that just loved playing with that, like Gilbert Gottfried apparently loves. He loves to having people groan at his jokes.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's the thing is if you come at it from the right way, I think even if it bombs, you win.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no.
But
You've gotta have your mental armor in place before you start.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Natasha International says, "Evening. It's still not cool enough to mow in Oklahoma." I think this person lives across the street from me. Hey,
Oh
Natasha,
really?
how you doing? No, I don't know, but I do wait until it's right to mow. I'm mowing in about another 5 days.
Oh yeah. I went in the office today, like I said, to do this presentation, but my whole department was in the office for the first time in about 2 months. We'd come back after
You're
the pandemic, and then we got sent home again. And so I talked with the state. Do I?
I was going to say you got glitchy for a second, and
Oh, I
your
did.
sound got just a little glitchy. But if it does that, it'll interrupt your story for one thing. But go ahead,
Oh,
go ahead.
okay,
We'll see if it works.
okay. The if it doesn't, let me know.
Okay,
So
I will.
anyway, so I talked to the safety department about us all coming back full time, and so in 2 weeks we're going to re-examine where things are at in Oklahoma with an eye towards are we coming back. So I may be back in the office in a couple of weeks,
Oh,
which is good.
you ought to be, and just you know, make it dependent on if you feel like disease just ran through you like wildfire, then shut down again. But it won't.
Yeah,
You'll have people that are prone to catching colds. You'll have to check on them,
yeah,
and that's about it. You know.
yeah. I think I mean I hope we'll see what with school starting up and all this stuff. Who knows. But
Well,
anyway,
yeah,
so
and people with kids will be the ones that are probably the ones most likely to bring it into your system.
well,
You know.
none of my employees, now this isn't true for the entire building, of course, but none of my employees have little kids.
I'll be. Yeah.
That's not true. One does have a little kid, a non-school age child though,
Hmm.
younger than school age. So that might,
Okay.
but we're gonna try it. I need to talk. I did. Of course, I talked to the safety department. Didn't even talk to any of my supervisors. It's just like,
Yeah.
hey, here's what we're doing. So we'll see. I think I have a good friend that works in the safety department, and he always he's a guy I can call and go, okay, well, what's going on with this or whatever. He's kind of my voice on the inside or whatever. And he said that upper management is considering how people could come back. And last time I was in, one of the vice presidents of the company came and talked to me and expressed the idea that we could come back whenever we wanted to. But
Yeah.
see, the thing is they're not gonna force anyone to come back.
Yeah.
But my guys all want to come. I want to come back. It was great to be in the office today.
I bet.
I got home a little bit later. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There was, the working at home. Not commuting is pretty cool, but just the idea of it, like, I don't know. I like going to the office.
Sure.
You just feel like you get stuff done. Even a day if you have a day at home and you don't get a lot done, you just feel like, man, you just feel like a worthless sack of crap. I mean, it's like, I didn't get anything done, and you feel like, at least if you go in the office, it's like, well, I answered some phone calls, and there's always stuff going
Yeah.
on if
Mhm.
you're in the office. Anyway, so I'm kind of happy about that.
I'm playing with my sticky bones tonight. I'm going to make all my miscellaneous sketches based on posing I do with the sticky bones. You see
That's
the
cool. I've been drawing. I don't know if you've seen on social media. I've just been filling my sketchbook with poses, trying to get cool poses.
yeah, that's great. That's something I'm going to start
I'm
doing
gonna.
more of drawing. Well, I'm going to be going on a big daily discipline of drawing because I've just about got the process stuff done on having all the word balloons and all the panels ready for my next iPad project. I'm going to
Oh,
do that.
really?
Yeah. It's going to be fun. It's going to be something that daily keeps me off the internet until
You
about
should.
6 o'clock, and that's great.
Yeah, you should stay off the internet. You need to get
Yeah.
off Twitter, man. That Twitter thing's
Well, I like it in terms of like catching up with the things that are bugging the zeitgeist at the moment. I mean, it's good to know what the heck the latest outrage is.
yeah, that's true. I get some of that from YouTube. So
Sure.
here's what I've been working on. I'll show you this, Ellis.
Let's
So,
see. Oh
well, and it's
yeah, yeah.
it's just it's just trying to get that heroic,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just heroic proportions down. You know,
Yeah.
trying to be a little more dynamic with some of my sketches. You know, this
Let's.
this wasn't that good. Oh, now these were good though. I'll show you
Mm-hmm.
these. These were good. I thought maybe
Oh
not this
yeah.
page so much. Oh, this page was better. Again,
Mm-hmm.
just trying to get. Oh, I watched David Finch's thing about arms. He has a good video about arms, about drawing the arm.
It takes me a little bit. He he uh, he is great to watch because what you learn from that is like, hey, 90% of drawing is like realize you got to put the marks down, erase them, and keep coming back to it. And I know that, and that's part of one of the things I think everybody uh, doesn't get when they're trying to become, they're in their mind a good artist. They go too quick to the finish, and the main thing is like pre-production in movies. It's like the cheapest thing to you that's going to get the best result is
I
for
know you
you to
saw this.
you to spend the time of making a bunch of throwaway drawings. You know.
That's what I'm trying to do. Is make a bunch of throwaway drawings.
Yep. No,
No, but
no,
what's
you're
funny
doing
is
exactly what you ought to do with a sketchbook. It's like
no,
just
no, no. I
keep
I
at it.
agree. When I see, well, and the thing is, like working at home, I keep it. Break time, like drawing, lunchtime, I'm drawing. I it's mileage. People always.
Hmm.
I'll look at somebody's sketchbook. It'll be full of perfect drawings, and I'm like, "Where's your sketchbook?" You
Yeah,
know?
that's not a sketchbook, is it?
No, not really. I mean, it's a drawing book.
Hmm.
Which I mean,
Which
there's
which is all
there's a
right. I
place for
mean,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
there's a
there's a
place for
market for
that.
it. Yep.
Oh, absolutely. Feng Zhu, or however you say that. How do you say the
Yeah.
guy that Feng Zhu?
Hmm.
He had his sketchbooks on one of his videos, and what he had is he had like a big hardbound one that was nice, and it had all these real nice pen and ink drawings in it.
All
And
his
he said, "This is."
concepts.
Yeah, he said, "This is what I show clients when I'm trying to get work.
Yeah.
This is my show off sketchbook basically."
Hmm.
And then he showed one that was like a small spiral bound thing, and I say small, it's like 8.5 by 5.5 or 8 by 5.5. And he said, "This is the sketchbook that when I'm working out ideas, I draw in,
Yeah.
and it was full of like rough doodles and stuff.
It's got his reps in it. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that always inspired me with his sketchbook was Frank Quietly. I've seen pictures of his online. I bought that book
Isn't the name actually Quietly?
Quietly. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, so that's what
I'm just making sure. I thought
well,
it was
it's
Quietly.
quietly. What did I say? Quietly?
Quietly.
Oh yeah, I think I added an L in there. Oh well.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay. I don't know him. He's probably not watching.
Oh, he's probably not.
He might be though.
He's that guy with that nice loft with in like Ireland, right?
Well, hang on. He's
Or is
the
it
guy.
England?
It's Ireland. It's no Scotland, Glasgow.
Okay.
He's the guy that does there was an episode. I know what you're talking about. There's an episode of it's called like What Artists Do All Day.
Yeah.
And they follow different artists for 24 hours, and he's one of them. And you say the nice loft, it's not a nice loft. It's a downtown studio that he shares with
Okay. It's
several
studio
artists.
space. Yeah.
It's studio space, but it's not nice. And he worked all night in there. And at one point, he slept under his desk in a sleeping bag. And he got up the next morning and walked to the bus station across the street and showered there. And he told the story about when he was a kid, he used to wonder what kind of people would shower at the bus station. They'd go there, and now he knows it's
me.
It's him, it's a cool video. He kind of has like a communal space that he works in, or at least did in there. Apparently, his wife they were having work done on the house, and his wife, I don't know, somebody got kicked out of his studio at the house. And so he met up with these guys, like local artists, and he rented space in their area. And he said the problem is when he got done, when they got done with the construction or whatever, his wife decided that she liked him out of the house.
Says, I want you out of the house.
Well, because I guess he has a lot of books and stuff.
It's like your best marriages or truck driver marriages. Somebody comes back and it's a big reunion when he gets back.
Hey, I'm home.
Yeah. Hey, all right. Now I can stand to look at you again. Okay.
Well, it's funny it's funny you say it for several things. One of being you've never been married, but also
but no, I know how life is.
You do know how life is. But it's funny you say it because I wondered when this pandemic started. My wife and I were home, and I mean literally for up until a few months ago, we never left the house except to go to the grocery store. In 6 months, I've probably put 200 miles on my car, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, normally I'm putting 40 a day on it. But it's just we didn't do anything. We couldn't do anything. And so you wonder, I wondered, it's like, oh my gosh, what's this going to be like? Are we gonna kill each other? But I mean, it's gone well. I don't think we fought hardly at all. There may be a few tense moments, but I don't think we've ever fought.
Well, people.
But my wife is pretty
tired
easygoing.
of each other. Mm-hmm.
No, oh yeah, no, I'm not tired of her. I'll keep her for a while longer. No, but you wonder, you get to a certain point and you hear these horror stories about people that retire. Not that I'm going to retire for 10 or 15 years, but they retire and then all of a sudden they look and they go, God, I hate this woman.
Well, that is always sad. And then there's the opposite where people die within days of each other because they just can't imagine living without each other.
Can't go on. I've given my wife permission to die within hours of my
exactly. It's almost like you say See to it, you know. Make sure that
No. I don't.
I'm kidding.
Well, first off, based on our
Demand it.
family history, I will
Yeah.
outlive her by a good 30 years. But you know,
You've got longevity, huh?
oh yeah,
Uh,
my grandparents all died in their 90s.
well, my mom and dad both. Dad didn't quite make 80, but mom did. But I don't want to be in the shape mom was at for as long as she was 80. There's General Grudge saying hi. Hi.
Hey,
I've been using Jason Brubaker's cognitive drawing for almost a month now, which is helping a lot with my anatomy learning. Now,
oh,
yeah, Brubaker is, I mean, he's the guy he's got some books
I'm
out and he's got that impulse to teach, which is a
I'm
noble impulse.
writing I'm writing that down. Brubaker. It's called
Yeah,
cognitive drawing.
cognitive drawing. And I've seen bits and pieces of this.
Hmm.
It's good because he sends you a book basically that's a workbook.
Oh,
That's what
that's
it
good.
is. Yeah.
That's what I need. I'll be done with my comic in like 4 more pages. Well, and
Yeah.
inks.
You
So
need
maybe
something
that's what
else.
I need to do. I need something to. Oh yeah, because my comic book got rejected. Not this one, but my listeners don't know this. My comic book, The Big Easy Score, got rejected by a publisher that had an open. The Source Point Press is publishing Heaven's Rejects had an open call, and so we submitted it. And I mean, literally, like within a day, it was like, nope, we passed. Um,
Well, at least it was, yeah, I mean, they didn't
Yeah, at
hang
least it
you
was
out.
fast. Hey,
Yeah.
if you don't know what you're doing, at least do it fast.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know. uh, why can't I find cognitive drawing? Jason Brubaker. Uh,
I wonder if he's just offering it through his YouTube channel as the only promotional thing, but I bet not. I bet it's somewhere.
well, I'll look.
See, I'm getting use out of this
Sticky
sticky
bones.
bones by just revolving it. Now I've got even though I didn't repose it, I've got a totally different drawing to make now. It's like, what does he look like from this angle?
It'd be great for doing turnarounds. You know,
Yeah.
if you had to
Oh,
do an
yeah.
action turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
I hate drawing turnarounds.
Turnarounds
Even
are tough. Turnarounds. I had to do a few of them. Yep.
oh god, I don't think I've ever done. I just
It's
can't make myself draw that many times.
well, yeah. You're drawing with plan lines. You know, you're drawing across lines that you saying, well, that buckle needs to hit here. You know.
Yeah.
Or,
Oh yeah. This hit now. Their boot hit some mid thigh. Oh, it's just a PDF.
yeah, that's what.
How'd you get it through the? Is it a website?
Natasha, how'd you get it?
I don't have my
You've got a
iPad. So I'm not
customer
watching.
here. Scott wants it.
Well, I don't want from Natasha. She didn't write it, did she?
No, no. It's something.
Well, if
Jason's offering.
if it's a PDF, I'll find it. I'm sure it's on his website then.
Oh yeah.
Even though
Sure.
I hate books on PDF.
Well, you
Even
got
though I
that
have an iPad, you would think I'd make better use of it. I don't like comic. That's why I refuse to buy your comic until you put it in a paper format.
in the paperback format. How did that come out? I haven't seen mine yet.
Dude, it came out great. Holy
All right.
cow.
Can
Oh, it
you?
looked
Is the type too small for you to read
No.
about yourself?
No. It's a little small, but it's not too small. Hang on, let me
Okay.
see if I can find it. I think I got it right here. My
Oops.
I can't lay my hands on it right now.
That's
Ellis.
all right.
Maybe I think it's
It's all right.
downstairs.
I get mine in another. I think it arrives Monday or Tuesday, and I'm looking forward to seeing it because there is something about a real book that you can't get it with a Kindle kind of presentation.
Nah. It's like Pinocchio. You want to be a real boy,
Yeah.
so to speak, or girl. No sexism here.
It is fun being able to just go ahead and say, this is what you look like if this guy was on the opposite side of things. And
Oh, yeah,
then
that is
and
cool.
And that's going to come
I
up,
got
you know, as a guy drawing comics. Like, what does that look like when this
I
guy
got
picks it up and it jumps on his face? You know.
this is my sticky bones. I don't have a sticky bones. I have this. This is a Daredevil figure I've had
And that's
forever.
plenty good enough. It,
Yeah,
what's nice about Sticky Bones is it's got these
proportions
really
are
strong
wrong.
magnets that's holding him up. See, I'm just tilting this every which way,
Yeah.
and it's staying where I put it, and it's like that's great.
Yeah, I mean, I use that occasionally trying to figure out a pose. You
Hmm.
know, it's helpful. It's cool. I'm getting better though.
Well,
I tell you what.
it's like what you're doing. It's an exercise to say, okay,
Sure.
I'm going to finally start using this thing. You know.
Well, that I tell you what really has helped me lately was I read. I hurt my leg. I think I
Oh
think I talked about
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
last
yeah.
week.
I think we
And
did
so
a
I
little
was
bit.
kind of laid up for a little bit, a couple days, and I read through and copied stuff out of How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just reading that, how the action uh, goes and how to push that just makes you want to push the action. I did, in fact, I'll show you an example. So, like on this page, which is not done, but I'm going on the next page. So on this page, originally, I'll show you my thumbnail. So it's rough. The thing is, this girl is cutting this rope,
Mm-hmm.
and so I drew like this, a real sideways, with the idea that I would kind of foreshorten a little bit. And I got to looking at it, and I was like, I don't like that. I need to fix that. And so I went with this, and I moved the sword down. I was like, the sword needs to be down, and I feel like that's a lot stronger of a pose. But I don't think I would have done that had I not read How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way recently, where Romita or Stanley or whoever wrote it is telling you, push that action, and they show the Spider-Man. Don't show him here. Show him with his fist all the way extended.
And that's the thing. Yeah, you got to watch with something like a Sticky Bones. It's like, don't just draw what you see.
Yeah, I
Act
mean,
like it's just a guide. You know.
it's kind of like on this page where she's cutting off her head. Originally, and I think I showed you. No, yeah, so you can see it in my thumbnails. Originally, I was going to have her swinging this way. And I was looking, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It looks like she's going to not do a knight her or something. And so I was like, I need to. So I relayed it. I mean, it cost me a lot of time, but I relayed out that pose and that action. If I want it, you know, I don't know. Anyway, read How Dark Comics the Marvel Way.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Everybody ought
That's
to. It's the only book you need, practically.
Yeah, practically. He had a Kickstarter on it.
But in terms of like other references to where other pieces of your education you need to pick up on, they'll tell you where to get it in How to Draw the Marvel Way.
Yeah,
They'll tell you to read some Bridgman or whatever.
yeah. I mean, it's not complete. I mean, it's the anatomy's pretty thin, but I'd had it when I was 12. I did. Unfortunately, I got it later in life. I got it after art school. But man, if I'd have had it when I was a kid, holy cow, I'd have went to
Yeah,
town on that.
that could be a formative experience having your
Yeah,
early copy of.
I'll add that to the list of stuff I'm gonna do when I build a time machine.
Yeah, there you go.
Number one, invest in Amazon.
Yeah, number one.
But anyway, so what'd you do today, Ellis?
Oh, it was fun. Like I say, I'm in. She says, Natasha International says he had a Kickstarter, but LDK, if you get a,
You get a physical copy. I'll look
yeah,
around.
but maybe Ellis can use his connections since Brubaker's good friends with the Blacklist crew, which is Mike Miller's little group.
Oh, are they the blacklisted crew? What did he do
The
to get?
Blacklist universe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, is he blacklisted or is that just his name? He's
Well,
aware that like a
he probably gave himself the name thinking that maybe there's some blacklisting that has happened to him at some point in his career. I don't know.
probably
I
who
don't know
knows?
really the origins of the name. He
Oh,
may have
okay,
discussed it.
gotcha. Well, those guys. So all these people hate each other now, right? Or they're not
No,
talking, right?
now Blacklist is not Comicsgate. It's just Mike's little crew that gets together to draw together and be on chats.
Oh, how'd your drawing go last week?
Oh, pretty good. I did I placed my usual spot, so it went pretty good. I can drag it out here and show it to you. I'll show it to you.
Sure, let's
Hang
see
on.
it.
I gotta take my
What was
headphones
the?
off.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna guess while he's not listening. I'm gonna guess at Ellis's spot. I'm gonna guess he was 8th.
Here it is. It's done with some of these Flexi Nib. What is this brand name? Oh, it's all Japanese. Anyway, I could find them again if I had to.
Ooh, I want to up my guess. While you had your headphones off, I guessed what you placed.
Oh, okay. What did I place? Did you know?
I don't know, but I guessed 8. How many people were in this?
Oh, 10. I think what there was a lot of there was a lot of ties. So I was about 3 people. I tied with about 3 or 4 people for last place, I guess. So anyway, there it is. That's us. That's Berserker.
Oh yeah,
Keanu Reeves character.
Oh yeah, that's cool looking.
Yeah, it's kind of
very Ellis, very Ellis looking though.
Yeah, it's more of a Kubert kind of approach than you would use.
Go back. I'm gonna critique it. You critique my stuff all the time.
Okay.
Put it back up there.
It's not a very good pose, for one thing. Go ahead.
That's what I was going to critique.
Oh yeah. The pose. He's just kind of like it's almost like
kind of lurching through the air.
Yeah, he's got like a diaper rash or something like that, and just pivoting at the hip.
Yeah, I think. Well, you know what I've been told. I've drawn similar drawings, and I always get hammered with the you don't move your hand and your foot forward both at the same time.
I tell you what, you got something very basic to what's wrong with it. Yeah, you don't put both sides out at this.
Nope.
Or back.
Nope.
No, that's basic to animation too. I should not have done that in that pose, but it was. It
would have looked better. I mean,
it shows a little ring rust, is what it shows. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but I think it looks good though, Ellis. I like it.
It's fun. There's I could have turned the corner on getting a better likeness for sure.
Yeah, you're like. I don't think. I mean, it's hard to tell because it's kind of. I'm looking on my TV. It's kind of fuzzy. But did you get a beard where it goes up on his cheeks? I see dark there, but I can't tell if it's his beard.
Yeah. I was going by the. By a bunch of reference I had pulled up.
Oh yeah.
Hey, there's a good pose. Yeah.
Well,
turn that to the side.
Ellis is. I'm going to brag about you for a second. Ellis is really good about doing likenesses when he puts his mind to it. I'm still impressed that Michael J. Fox. Ellis and I were at a coffee shop one time, and we were talking about, I don't know what we were talking about, but we were talking about drawing likenesses of people. And Ellis out of the blue draws a Michael J. Because I thought, man, I can't draw Michael J. Fox. I tried to draw him, and I can't find a handle on his features. And so Ellis was like, well, here's what you need to do. And just trying without looking and with no reference, drew a pretty passable likeness of Michael J. Fox. I was just like, whoa, dude, use that skill for good.
Well, I mean, obviously one of the skills would be sitting down and
watching too much Back to the Future.
Insulting people by drawing caricatures that hurt their feelings. Yeah, I could do that.
There you go.
I've always wanted.
I was impressed with that, man. That blew me away.
I had a course. I'm very lucky that I lived in Simi Valley at a time, and I'm sure he still lives there. I'm sure he decided to make that a home when Steven Silver was living in Simi Valley and
Ooh.
offering courses, and I actually went over to his house for courses. I
Oh,
think
geez.
now he actually only teaches virtual courses, and some of what we got from that was, personal accounts of things like interviewing Mort Drucker. And I mean, here, Steven Silver is like idolizes Mort Drucker,
I
and
could
he
see
should, and
that.
everybody should. But
Yes.
and he asked Mort, "What's the most important thing in caricature?" And he says, "Well, just the big head shape first." And so,
Yeah.
when you hear it from somebody that can nail a caricature the way Mort Drucker can, all of a sudden you've got it. You put it in the row it belongs in. But the deal is, you can get a likeness if you just know the planes of the head rhythms or the Riley rhythms of everybody's skull. If you can give yourself a map of the rhythm, you can make a likeness fit with the wrong head shape. You can turn
Yeah.
Max von Sydow into a big round-headed pig kind of character that still looks like Max von Sydow because you got the rhythms right. You can, if you lay the features in on the proper rhythms, you can still get a likeness. But why push that? Why not get the head shape right?
Yeah. Yeah. Either way, I was impressed. I think
I just felt
what
like yeah, go ahead.
well, I think what impressed me was that you could recall Michael J. Fox's face well enough to draw it from memory. I was just like, holy, because you're not, as far as I know, you're not any kind of Michael J. Fox fan or anything. You don't have his poster on your wall or anything like that. You just, from watching his movies and stuff, you were just like, let me think about this. I can't do that. I would need at the least look at some reference.
Well, he's I used to watch his TV show a little bit. What was that called?
Spin City or Family Ties?
I was wondering, why am I trying to think of Michael J. Fox and Tremors? My brain was saying Tremors while I was thinking of Michael J. Fox. I says, it's wrong. What's wrong with your brain? And of course, the guy
that's
Parkinson's.
No,
Yeah,
what?
No. But the guy that plays his dad in it was in Tremors. He's the guy with the great.
Michael Gross or what?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Spin City or Family Ties? You're talking about Family Ties.
Yeah, Family Ties. That's what I'm talking about.
Supposedly, that guy's a big train guy. Like he collects like model trains. I believe it's him.
Michael Gross.
He
is in a gut wrenching show about these Florida rednecks that was made with all David Soul and him. Played a couple of rednecks in Florida that were based on real people that had a shootout with the FBI.
Oh, geez.
And that shootout with the FBI is one of those things that they go over and over now of like, this is when it goes wrong. Don't ever let it go that wrong again, please. And they just had this whole linked up thing where one guy was their crack shot that probably could have put him down within seconds, but he was also blind as a bat without his glasses.
Oh, geez, and he didn't have them.
And first thing he did was break them. Yeah.
Oh, geez, God, talk about bad luck.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm looking for headphones. I got the noise. Mine are getting ready to die.
Uh-oh.
I got a second though. When you say that reminds me of the Kyle, what was the bank robbery in LA? You were probably there when it happened.
Yeah, I was in the Southern California anyway. Yeah, that was fascinating too. But the fact that
hang on just a second. Hang on.
Yeah. Scott wants me to hang on before I treat anybody else to.
Hey, tough for them.
Something he might miss, yeah.
I don't want to miss this.
Might be a great story.
Was it Chase? What was the bank? What was
I
the bank?
forget. I forget the bank. I forget most of the details, except I saw the guy die. I think live, if I remember right.
On TV or in person?
The guy that shot himself right in the mouth. They were covering it.
Oh, geez. Yeah,
And I
it's
saw
so.
the guys that rolled up, and boy, I tell you what was struck you about the hit squad that rolled up on the second guy was that guy's dead. They're in business right now to do nothing but shoot this guy about
Oh
50
yeah,
times. And because he got out with his firepower and started trying to run around his truck for cover, and these guys that were SWAT guys that had just been called up impromptu, they're wearing board shorts and stuff like that.
oh, that's right.
And boy, that one guy got under there, and you always see this in movies where, let's see how you like being shot in your lower body because I'm going to be shooting into the truck here for you.
Yeah,
And he just blasted him away from the ankles up, and that guy was done very quick.
yeah.
But there was controversy because he didn't die instantly.
Hey,
But
bled
they
to death.
can't. Yeah, he bled to death, and but it has to be secure before you can get, a civilian in on to stop the bleeding and all that. They weren't medics. They were there to kill. They were there to
Oh yeah,
destroy.
those guys. They were there to take him out, and they did.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
well, if you go to a bank with that kind of, if you go in to rob a bank
Oh
and
no. He should
yeah.
have been summarily executed.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, he should get his day in court, but yeah, I mean,
Well,
you gotta,
okay.
you can't expect him to go soft on you when they're taking
No,
you down.
no.
He shot a whole ton of people,
Yeah.
or they did. I don't know. Did anybody die? I think they were the only two guys that died.
Oh yeah. No, they died, and I forget who all they killed, but they killed a couple of cops.
Oh, did they?
Mm-hmm.
God, what bank?
They were shooting with big old rifles. I forget what particular rifle they were using, but it was.
God, and the whole thing's on
a big
camera.
rifle.
You can watch documentaries
Well,
about
helicopter
it.
shots. They even turned around and took a couple shots at the helicopter.
Yeah, you don't want to be the helicopter guy when they're doing that kind of crap.
Yeah, when you're shooting
So the moral here is do
NATO
not
rounds
rob a bank.
or whatever it was. What?
Do not rob a bank.
Yeah.
They will not let you get away with it. Not like that, at least.
I forget what they had some sort of snafu. Otherwise, they should have been cleared away. They shouldn't have had to shoot things up that much.
They had trouble with the car, and then there was a guy that they tried to carjack that took off running, but he took his car keys. So
Yeah. That's what happened when that crew rolled up on the guy that they killed. Like I said, that's what was happening to him at that point. He had trouble with the car. Yeah. And that other guy that committed suicide, he was badly wounded at that point. They were getting shots in on him.
Yeah.
And he said, well, okay, this is it.
I don't care. Well, the problem is, he's like, hey, I got body armor, I can take it. It's like, well,
yeah, then they started shooting him around the edges.
Yeah, first off, it's armor, it's not a suit, but anyway, if you don't know about it, look up L.A. bank robbers,
or just watch Heat again, because that's what's amazing. Yeah. Heat predicted it, or I don't know, you could say it inspired it. I don't
Caused
know.
it, inspired it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Heat's a great movie.
Oh yeah, I love that movie. It's longer than you think it's going to be, though, when you get started on it. It's like 2.5 hours or something like that. And it's also got someone on Twitter brought it up as far as exploitation of young people and talked about Natalie Portman, who's in one of them called The Professionals, which I absolutely agree is like almost a pedophile's movie. But she's also in Heat. She's the little girl, the daughter that tries to commit suicide.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the word suicide is probably being put out too much on the channel tonight. We'll probably get this canceled.
Oh, you think so?
I don't know what the algorithm is on that. But self-harm is one of those things that they do.
Well, neither one of us are threatening it. In fact, I would actively discourage it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
it's me mostly that's saying it.
I don't know if I was thinking, have I said suicide?
No,
I said it now.
I started chattering
Well,
away and said it about 10 times in a row.
I do. I said that I went to work today, and I was talking to the safety department, and the guy was telling me, he said, we've had people that are working from home that have contacted them and said, can we come back in? I'm going crazy working at the house. I can't take it. And you think, oh man, it'd be a dream. And there's some people that are like, I'll never come back until they make me. And usually they're people that I wouldn't consider necessarily the hardest workers. There are another couple that are. There's one guy's like, I get a lot more done at home. And I believe it with him. But there are some that's like, dude, I called you 4 hours ago. You're returning a call on an order that you're wanting today. And I told you, you've got to call me back as soon as possible. Yeah. And you're calling me 4 hours later. And then you're telling me I never want to work in the office. It's like, you're the dude that needs to be in the office. Your supervisor needs to know what you're doing,
Yeah.
I think if they let anyone stay at home, they should have their coworkers vote whether they're allowed to. It's like, are you trustworthy? Are you trustworthy enough? My crew's been really good. I've been very happy, and I was a little not concerned about any of them in particular, but just worried about, are we going to be able to get stuff done, and are we going to be able to, and and the bad thing is, like, my department, we're busy, but we're not always busy. You know how it is when you work at a place that has like deadlines and projects and stuff. Sometimes it's like, oh, we're swamped, and then sometimes you're like, yeah, we're not as busy as I wish we were. And so, but I told my guys, I said, if you're not busy, I still expect you to be where I can reach you. Don't be, whatever, goofing off.
Yeah.
If you're, I expect you to be where you can be reached by email or phone call. And I haven't run. One guy, I called him and he didn't answer. He called me right back. He goes, "Oh, dude, I'm sorry, I was in the John." And I go, "It's fine. I get it. I mean, yeah. I use the bathroom too. I get it, but
Hey, I've titled this "War of the Satellites."
What is that
this
about?
Particular episode? Yeah, it's about the fact that this happened today. I found a Roger Corman movie from an era that I was absolutely certain I'd seen everything Roger Corman had done. And the reason I haven't seen War of the Satellites is because I've got it confused with the guy that played the Invisible Man, Claude Rains, has got another movie called probably War of the Planets that I thought, well, I've got it covered. I've seen this War of Outer Space movie. And then I turn this on. It's like impossible. Here's a Roger Corman movie from that era that I have not seen. It stars Dick Miller, from Gremlins and Terminator, the guy that sells Arnold the shotgun behind the counter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was Dick Miller. And it was great to watch it. It's one of his hour-long wonders.
It's on Prime?
And, yeah, it's on Prime, yeah.
It's called what again? War of the Satellites.
War of the Satellites. Couldn't believe it. Oh, yeah, it didn't take long to watch. But, of course, the trivia on it sent me down an amazing rabbit hole. For one thing, I'm just astounded that something, no matter how, because he always does something clever that keeps you hooked on it.
Yeah.
And he's a great storyteller. But this thing, it was an 8-day wonder, not 8 days to make it. It was made in less time than that. It was 8 days from start to the time it was in theaters. I can't even imagine.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So they got that thing cranked out and in theaters in 8 days. And on that
start, you mean filming start or
start?
Film it.
They filmed it.
Okay.
And the claim is it was in theaters in 8 days.
So they had props and stuff, probably.
Oh yeah. They were ready to go on it. I mean,
What am I saying? He reused props.
Roger Corman. Oh yeah. One of the funniest props to look at the use of is the corridors that you can tell just reel into place as spacecraft corridors.
Yeah.
And he obviously sent them up and down them, with several different setups.
Yeah. What? When was this made?
I think it was 1958. It's interesting though. One of the things I read about it was the star. I was interested. Hey, boy, she is attractive. And I said, I know her from something. And sure enough, she's the star of Wasp Woman, which I have seen. And she also, the trivia is, she dated Roger Corman. That'll probably be a
there you go. That's how you get the
boost. In terms of like getting a few projects under your belt.
Yeah.
But she also caught the attention of the king of Jordan, Hussein, back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other thing is, wow, fascinating person. And then you go down to her death, and she was killed by her own son with a workout weight bar.
Oh, gosh.
And her son had dwarfism. His name was Timothy. And then it turns out that they finally decided, and it's fairly clear that the father of Timothy was probably King Hussein. I guess they've done some genetics on this or something.
So King
Hussein. That is a weird rabbit hole. Yeah, she apparently tried to claim it was someone that she married in a flash and got divorced from. Back in the day, you had to worry about scandal. And nowadays, you only worry about scandal if
you embrace it.
Yeah.
You embrace it.
It's also nice. But anyway, that was the rabbit hole I went down with that movie.
God.
Watched the Reanimator recently. That's a weird old movie. Yes, it is, but it's done by a lot of talents. Man,
is it good?
Oh, have you never seen it? Barbara Crampton. Barbara Crampton and Jeffrey Combs.
One of my weird Roku channels has it on there, but I've never seen it. My Roku, I have all these strange channels, and one of them has. I was looking through it, and one of their sci-fi movies is Reanimator.
Well, you want to watch something that holds your attention. Jeffrey Combs as the weirdo in that. He holds your attention. He's a great character.
Gotcha.
This is great. I'm enjoying sketching from this thing because it gives you a quick little way to thumbnail a hand. It's got a planes of the head, kind of like head. It is kind of fun.
You got that on Kickstarter, didn't you?
Yes, yeah. Oh my goodness, it was ages before they actually satisfied it. I think it was over a year and a half, or maybe it was closing in on 2 years, I think, before they finally got it to you.
Oh. Hey, can't lose hope, though.
Yep. Oh, now I assume you can join the store and get your own if you feel like it now.
Yeah, they're kind of pricey, aren't they?
I think at the time I paid about $70 for it.
Oh yeah. Is it metal?
No, it's a nice injection molded kind of plastic, but the little pieces are just really well. I moved my pose. That's all right. I was done with it. That's the deal. You ought to just do your quick little Bridgman notes from the pose, and then it's all you, or should be.
Yeah.
What else did I want? Oh yeah, and while we're down the rabbit hole of Roger Corman, then later today, it's just a Roger Corman kind of day. I looked at the library and it says my interlibrary loan, that's finally moving again.
Oh, yeah.
And I got a book by Roger Corman called How I Made 100 Movies in Hollywood Without Losing a Dime. And so
Oh
that's
yeah.
waiting for me to read.
Oh,
As
that
soon
was
as
an
I get it.
interlibrary loan. I thought I'd seen that at the library. No, I saw the one on how to make a. He's got something about how to make a movie for $50 or something like that.
Well, that's interesting. I think you saying that made me think at the time that I got it at an interlibrary loan that I had looked for it in our inventory and didn't find it. But you're right. Our little look arounds there. I feel like I've seen it at our library. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've
I got to
seen
check on
that,
that.
which is good for you because that means you can keep it longer. So the
No,
library
no, no.
by me,
Actually, yeah, yeah. I could keep it longer if it was part of our
a
library.
normal
Yeah,
part of our library, yeah.
yeah,
The library by me is actually open. You can go in
yeah. Yeah,
now. I think all the metro libraries are.
yeah. Quick grab or whatever they're calling it.
The grab and go.
Grab and go.
Yeah, I was talking to I I go to the library by my house all the time, and so all those girls in there know me. And
Vampirella versus Reanimator comic. I guess you could merge them. A talented writer. Just give him the outline. He can go with it.
what's the who's the horror host girl? Not Vampirilla, Vampira, the old one.
Uh, is that her name? Yeah, yeah.
I think so.
No, well, Vampire, the girlfriend
The
of
one for
James
the
Dean.
yes, well,
Vampire.
allegedly, yeah. There's a
But you
great
aren't talking
book out.
about Elvira. No, Elvira is who I
No, no,
thought you
no,
were thinking of.
no. There's a great biography about her called
Yeah.
Vampira and Me. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's worth reading. So General Grudge does not possess the gene that lets him like cheap, cheesy movies.
You
Well,
know,
sorry, you're banned from our channel.
no. I have a hard time warming up to really poor movies. Sometimes the only way to watch those is with the Mystery Science Theater or Riff Tracks kind of
See, I don't
way
like
where
that.
they're
I can't take that.
you don't like that, huh?
Nope, nope. It's too. I will. You know what? I will. You know what I'll take? I like if it's a cheap movie. There has to be something that grabs me. But sometimes you'll see like a movie that's shot cheap, and so it's all on
Mm-hmm.
location, and I like that.
Yes, yeah,
I
sure.
like movies that are shot on location.
Mm-hmm.
If it's an interesting location, that is. But
Which tends to run the costs up, even though you get a
well,
lot of
if you do it legally,
yeah, exactly.
you know,
If you do it,
guerrilla style.
yeah, Cohen
Or as
style. What's his name? He died recently.
Oh, see, I was going to call it Ellis and Scott short film style.
Yeah. What Cohen am I thinking of that did Q the?
Leonard.
I don't
Leonard?
think it's Leonard. No, that's the
No,
singer.
it's. Oh yeah, no. The documentary about it's called King Cohen, but I don't
King
know.
Cohen.
I don't know
That's right.
which is a
Elvira.
decent.
General Grudge has got that guy that sings the yodeling kind of song that was a viral hit for a long time.
That's
Yeah,
not
what
yodeling. That's not.
Yeah, that's a guy
Boom,
that.
Yeah. Hell, my
What's
heart's
his
on
name?
fire. I don't know.
No. I'm talking about the guy, the physical avatar that General Grudge is using is of a
Oh,
guy that
that. I
was
don't know. That looks like a guy that would sell you a car.
or live
Sell
in
you a car that was on
Norway, which I
fire.
think is where he is. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, so he is
Yeah.
a yodel. I checked out. A friend of mine was telling me how much he enjoyed yodeling music, and so I found a CD somewhere of yodeling, and I realized what it is there are two forms of yodeling, or at least according to this CD, and some of them was that like Norwegian, on the mountains kind of yodeling, and then there was cowboy yodeling on here too. I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's a thing. Oh, how did that ever happen? I don't, you know, they're
Yeah, he's Russian. He was apparently just like a huge hit, and he just repeats that sound over and over again, low, but
Lolo.
obviously very musically.
Oh,
His
gotcha.
name is Edward Kill Kyle, or however you handle that in Russian.
Gotcha.
What did I? Oh, that's speaking of Norway.
Yeah.
Everything on the simulation is coming back into my realm. I just finished up Lilyhammer on Netflix,
Okay.
which is fun because it's a lot of fun show, and I was
What
only
is?
drawn to. Oh, Lilyhammer is about this American gangster, which is funny because it's played by Steve Van Zandt, who was, of
Oh,
course,
okay. Yeah,
the
the
big one of the
Sopranos.
gangsters on Sopranos, and just looking just like he walked off the Sopranos. And he's playing a guy that has to get witness protection because he gives up one guy because they've got him cold, and he says, "Yeah, I want to go to Lilyhammer because he's got a joint citizenship. Anybody apparently that has citizenship in Norway can come back and apply and get all kinds of stuff and be allowed in and get all the legal going if you ever were part of
Oh, really?
Norway." Yeah, and so he had a mother that was Norwegian, even though he's Italian. And I'm not sure this may actually be Van Zandt's actual lineage. But anyway, what's up, jerk? And in the E Street Band, yeah. What's up, jerk? Is that a reference to a movie
What's
I
up,
don't
jerk?
know
What's
about?
up, jerk? No, General Grudge is getting a little salty.
Yeah, you're getting a little salty.
Yeah, if somebody had dual citizenship, I think you'd be crazy to give it up.
Oh yeah, no. You don't want
Man,
to have that.
it's a you never can tell.
That's what I meant to say. Was he just had dual citizenship? Yeah, but he only mentions he gives him Lilyhammer as a place just because he's watching the Olympics on. So it looked like a nice clean place, and this is I'll go there.
Did
He's unleashed. Well,
Oh.
it's a comedy, and he's unleashed
Gotcha.
on these people that do everything at a snail's pace. They're a very comfortable bureaucracy, and that's not the way that this gangster is willing to live. And he's always bullying people for this and that, and it's pretty funny.
Gotcha.
But I finished watching that, and there's still 2 more seasons. This was apparently, since Cuties is in the air anymore about Netflix, it's like, well, yeah, I'm never going to watch Cuties, but I might want to watch the rest of Lilyhammer. They've got 2 more seasons. It was the first one. It was the first Netflix produced series.
Oh yeah.
And of course, Cuties is like, yeah, you shouldn't have to be told that that's bad news, but
yeah.
It's like, but they didn't. But they made it, and so there it sits. Don't watch it.
Yeah, God, it makes you wonder what people are thinking.
Yeah. Well, it's like what was that? The thing it made Academy Awards, and I've seen it. It's a cute enough movie, but that Miss Sunshine or whatever, Little Miss Sunshine movie, it involves a girl that on her own, her crazy old grandfather got her to work some kind of like stripper moves into her talent show thing that I think that's part of the reason they're in the car. Oh, you're talking to some big jerk. At some big jerk.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah. We got another guy on here called some big jerk.
Oh. I'm not watching the comments today, so all I see is what you put up on the screen.
Yeah.
Wait, do we have more people watching than normal? Wow.
No, about the same amount. General
Oh,
Grudge,
gotcha.
Natasha International, NASA's
Fly
got a
Fox
new
Pro?
book. He could. I don't know. Fly Fox Pro didn't show up, and
What?
we're at an hour.
Well, sorry, Fly Fox Pro missed it.
Yeah, it was fascinating.
Before we go, I did record a podcast in person last weekend at Barry's house.
Oh, cool.
I don't know,
Well, the links on
what that whole. I don't know what that holds for the future, but in
So
terms
you
of
went over.
podcasting.
You went over to Barry's house.
Yep, we recorded 3 podcast episodes. We did a long episode that I split into 2 of Scott at Midnight, where we talk about comic conventions, which was interesting because Barry worked for about 15 years at a local comic shop as a manager, put together some local conventions. And then we just talked about, we did a Better Than Fiction, where we just talked about stuff we've been watching, that sort of thing. It was fun. I always like going to Barry's.
Yeah.
Do what?
And you guys, we had a local personality that Bart Bush that died recently, and he had the job contemporaneous with Bart, so he would have known Bart pretty well from going to cons and stuff. I guess everybody knew Bart pretty well.
Everybody local for sure, and within a certain realm of, I've seen stuff from people, outside the region.
They would know him countrywide in comics. Yeah, he was quite a personality.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ellis, we're at an hour. You ready to call it?
I'm ready to call it. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for dropping by.
Yep. Thanks for dropping by.
Don't commit suicide. Goodbye.
Please.